Would you allow somebody like Anthony Joshua to box in women's boxing in a year's time if he had the treatment?
If he was in a woman's size weight category, yes, I would.
You would let Floyd Mayweather, who is pound for pound the most successful boxer in male history, in a year's time compete at the same weight against women?
Yeah, if there's a weight category.
This is nonsense. I'm sorry. How could you possibly countenance putting Floyd Mayweather, the most dangerous boxer pound for pound, arguably in the history of boxing, into a ring with women born to female body? This is where the argument becomes utterly ridiculous. It's not transphobic to say so, it's common sense. Mr. Broccoli, you went viral on the internet because you were arrested and you were a piece of broccoli.
Yes.
Do you identify as broccoli? Or?
I am Mr. Broccoli, yes, that's right, Piers.
Do you have another name or not?
No, Mr. Broccoli is
that's
me,
it.
yeah.
You don't go about your daily business as a piece of broccoli?
I've always been a piece of broccoli.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Right. So do you have a job?
I just grow. Yeah.
When you claim that you're a two-spirit penguin...
Yeah, you know why I did that?
Go on.
Because you and I had this debate about the 100 genders. Yeah. And I made the point, if literally you can now identify in 100 different ways your gender, including two-spirit person and all this other stuff, then I am entitled to identify as a two-spirit penguin. In other words, there are no limits. And what's interesting is, you want me to respect all those 100 genders, however ludicrous some of them are, but you have zero respect for my right to identify myself in any way I see fit. So in other words, it's one rule for you. You say everyone's entitled to say they can be whatever they want. But the moment I decide that I want to be a two-spirit penguin, you go absolutely nuts and want to control how I self-identify.
That's not how it works.
That is the point I'm making. Not only is it preposterous for liberals to want to cancel everything, because it's the antithesis of what liberalism should be about.
Right.
Not only is it completely antithetical to democracy. I mean, democracy is supposed to be the ability to sit down with people whose opinions you don't share and to have a vigorous debate, and at the end of it, go and have a drink and remain friends, which I know you do, and I'd certainly do. That's gone as well now. So these modern day...
In Britain too?
In Britain too. So the modern day woke liberal, they don't want debate. They just want you to have their narrow prism of life. And if you don't sign up to it, you're not just wrong, and they don't just tell you you're wrong, you have to be destroyed. Everything that you stand for, you have to have your job removed, you have to have your life destroyed. And that is not liberalism, that's fascism. I think you've got to stand up for yourself. You know, I remember the great Winston Churchill line, which is, you've got enemies, good. It means that at some stage in your life, you stood up for yourself. And I had a choice. I could have apologized for disbelieving Meghan Markle and kept my job. But if I had done, I would have kicked myself all day, every day, ever since. Because as her tissue of untruths began to be unraveled by the world's media after the Oprah interview, it was quite clear that I was right. The idea that a media company would bow to the Twitter mob who were baying for my blood and say, look, you either cave and issue a groveling apology or you have to leave, I thought was ridiculous. So I took the option of leaving, and I've been so pleased about that ever since that I was true to myself. You've got to back yourself. You know, there's no point expecting other people to back you or support you if you don't do it to yourself. And I think we live in an era where I think people need to have a bit more of a backbone. You're a vegan, right? I'm a meat eater. Why can't we just both live happily in each other's orbit? Why can't you let me just get on with eating meat and you eat your gruel and we'll all go home happy? You can all be as hangry as you like and not have meat. I don't believe in the science of a strictly vegan diet. If vegan diets work, a lot of animals wouldn't eat other animals.
Do you believe in the climate crisis?
Yes.
Well, the animal agriculture, farming and fishing is a leading cause of the climate crisis.
You know what's also a leading cause of climate crisis? Planes which carry vast amounts of your avocados and your almonds from California and fly them thousands of miles to your table here in your vegan cafes. And then they also go in trucks. And that is an environmental hazard too. So you're not only are you killing billions of bees, you're destroying the planet. And yet you have the brass neck to sit here in between munching your almonds and your avocados and start preaching to me about how virtuous you are about not killing animals. Andrew, let me ask you, Andrew, I've made my stunning confession that I tried a bit of cannabis. What am I supposed to do with this, mate?
Smoke it. Go ahead, man.
Oh yeah!
There he is.
Come on,